Entering the week of August 22nd, the internal environment is marked by emotional turbulence. This manifests as unpredictable behavioral shifts and a sense of internal movement. Without a symbolic framework, these sensations appear random. The lack of a clear coordinate system makes this energy feel unmanageable. The shifting architecture of archetypes and energetic fields provides a landscape for navigation. In astrological language, we treat the system as a geometry of meaning, a practical tool for mapping internal psychological states to macrocosmic patterns. Utilizing this esoteric framework transforms unpredictable emotional weather into a legible structural map. The natal chart provides the baseline, defining 12 houses as nested fields of human experience. Current planetary movements overlay this baseline, interacting with the individual matrix. This macro to micro overlay identifies emotional currents, marking where celestial cycles connect to the human silhouette. Viewing astrology as a psychological calendar replaces uncertainty with structural preparation. The current week is defined by aspects of tension. These specific geometric angles create points of friction within the psyche. The square is a 90-degree alignment. It indicates a conflict where two different planetary agendas pull in opposing directions. This 90-degree pressure translates to a sense of being blocked. When friction builds at the vertex, internal behavioral challenges become more pronounced. The opposition aspect creates a 180-degree axis. This geometry holds two planetary points in a state of extreme polarity across the wheel. These oppositions manifest as relational conflicts, or a sharp division in focus and priorities throughout the week. In an esoteric context, these tension aspects function as structural demands for development. The pressure of the square forces a loop of review, requiring an individual to examine their habitual reactions. This iterative process of returning to the same psychological knot is the mechanism of psychological recursion. Supportive geometries provide a release for this tension. These alignments function as channels for easier movement. The conjunction occurs when two planetary energies merge. They converge into a singular, intense focus, creating opportunities for emotional breakthroughs and clarity in decisions. The trine is a 120-degree harmonic angle. It establishes a triangular path that allows energy to circulate without interruption. Because these lines lack rigid angles, energy flows smoothly. These trines support relationship dynamics and provide channels for unblocked creativity. Identifying these points of harmonic flow allows for the strategic direction of energy toward areas with the least resistance. Applying this geometry universally requires moving from sun sign horoscopes to broad archetypal mapping. The 12 signs cluster into 4 elemental domains: fire, earth, air, and water. This week, the fire and earth groups process the 90-degree squares. Their challenge is to balance action with grounding. The air and water groups utilize the 120-degree trines. They are positioned to blend analytical thought with intuitive processing. Aligning individual behavior with these elemental roles provides a method for managing the prevailing cosmic weather. Elemental grouping provides a structural compass for navigating the week's specific tensions and harmonies. Observing these planetary movements over time reveals the broader cycles they belong to. Aspects and lunar phases function as a rhythmic engine. These gears drive the repetition of human habits and emotional memory. Tracking this rhythmic engine prevents an individual from being surprised by recurring behavioral tendencies. Recognizing the cyclical nature of these alignments turns temporary emotional trends into predictable patterns. The week ahead requires the week of August 22nd is now complete, encompassing squares, oppositions, trines, and elemental roles. The initial sense of turbulence is now organized into a legible architecture of meaning. The week ahead requires the conscious application of this symbolism to direct friction toward discipline and flow toward creation. Witnessing this geometry provides a way to anticipate internal shifts. Awareness of these patterns allows for a deliberate response to the internal environment.